Shavua Tov, everyone. Welcome to Tillis Tell Stories for Saturday night. The title of this week's video is Teaching Trees. I freely adopted it from the book And the Angels Laughed. Rabbi Levi Yitzchak Horowitz, the previous Bostoner Rebbe, departed on the 18th of Kislev, 2009. He was a direct descendant of Rabbi Shmuel Shmelki of Nikolsburg, a primary disciple of the Maggid of Mizrich, successor to the Baal Shem Tov. He led two communities simultaneously, in Boston and in the Har Nof section of Brooklyn, district of Jerusalem. He is known for the vast help he extended to people in medical emergency situations and his open, friendly nature, which made him beloved to Jews of every type. Har Nof, the district of Jerusalem in where the Boston Rebbe lived every spring and summer, is built on the sides of a steep hill. Thus, most of the apartment houses are surrounded by small lawns and gardens 20 feet or so below street level. One winter, one of the local residents built a balcony which required his cutting off the entire top of a nearby tree. Afterwards, he decided it would make a nice decoration and stood it up on the sidewalk outside his entrance. There it happened to reach about the same height as the top of a nearby fruit tree, which had been planted by a neighbor in one of the gardens or lawns below. And so they stood, two equally barren, leafless trees, all winter. Once, the Boston Rebbe was walking past them with a chassid of his, to whom he remarked, "Those two trees are Mussar trees." Mussar means first of the ethical, moral teachings. These two trees are Mussar trees. They teach us an important lesson. The one on the left, with the severed top, is now barren, and the one on the right is now barren. That's because it's still winter. But in the springtime, the one resting on the sidewalk, which has no roots, will become barren. Well, it will remain barren, while the one with roots in the soil will bring forth leaves, blossoms, and fruit. His point was that throughout our exile, the winter, represented by the winter, all Jews, whether or not their roots are sunk in the rich soil of Torah, seem to fare equally. Only in the Messianic age, as represented by the spring, will the difference between the life choices of the two become apparent. Then Torah true Jews will bring forth their spiritual fruit, while those without Torah roots will not. Sparrows were perching on the barren branches, and the Rebbe told his chassid another parable, one about trees and birds. The leaves on the trees were happy. They enjoyed the nourishment provided by their roots and had a marvelous view and fluttered cheerfully in the breeze. One day, some sparrows came by and perched on a branch. Some of the leaves began to reconsider their lot and became jealous. Why were they stuck there on the tree all day? Why couldn't they leave and fly off as free as the bird? Their jealousy mounted day after day until a storm came and a powerful wind swept those very leaves off their tree into the air. Their dream had come true. Upward they soared in the wind as they called out to each other, "This is wonderful. Now we are just like everyone else, the birds and the bees. Look how high we have risen, how free we are. This is the life." But then the wind stopped blowing, and the leaves fell all the way down, below the birds, below the trees, to the ground. There they lay helpless in the mud, never to rise again. So too, those who leave our tradition with all its restraints and supports can fly high like everyone else, but only for so long. Enduring spiritual heights are achieved only by remaining attached to the tree of life. These were two important, if sobering, parables. They continued their walk to shul in silence, each wrapped in his own thoughts. As for the chassid, the incident stuck in his mind because he didn't quite understand. What was lacking in the first parable that prompted the Rebbe to offer another one? The weeks passed, spring came, and Har Nof was clothed in green. Again, the same two walked to shul together, and again they passed the Mussar trees, the teaching trees. True, the living, rooted tree was covered with a handsome cloak of green leaves, but so was the severed one. A honeysuckle vine had climbed up the wall and draped itself over the bare branches, covering them completely with leaves and flowers. You see, the Rebbe explained, even a tree without roots, a Jew without Torah, has an opportunity to bear fruit in some way, if it supports those that do. Something to think about tomorrow night at the Tu B'Shvat Seder. Shua Tov, have a happy New Year for fruit trees in Israel. Have an outstanding week.